Hi, it's me JD and welcome back to my channel. This video is all about using adhesive craft vinyl. This type of vinyl is commonly used with digital cutting machines such as the Cricut or the Silhouette Cameo, but I'm here today to show you that you can also use this vinyl in your card making and paper crafts. First up, you'll need some vinyl. Some popular brands are Oracle or Sizer or Cricut brands. Craft vinyl usually comes in 12 by 12 inch adhesive sheets like this in a variety of colors, or they can come in tubes. You'll also need some transfer tape like this, and then some tools to help weed and scrape your vinyl are helpful as well. The rest of the craft supplies needed can be found in your crafty stash with whatever metal dies or die cutting machine you have. Before we begin, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and then we'll play a rousing game of What Does Vinyl Stick To? I've got a couple of test pieces here of Oracle 651 vinyl. You can use 651 or 631. Just know that 631 is removable. First up, does vinyl stick to plain old cardstock? And the answer is yes, it does. Does vinyl stick to textured, or in this case, glittered cardstock? And the answer is yes, kind of. With a little bit of extra pressure, the vinyl should stick to your glitter cardstock, although it might show some of the texture through the cardstock. In this case, you can see some of that glitter texture in there. Does vinyl stick to vellum paper? And the answer is it absolutely does. There's also the added benefit of little to no yucky residue when you look on the back. Does vinyl stick to acetate? Acetate is non-porous and has a slick surface, which makes it one of the best surfaces for craft vinyl to stick to. Similar to vellum, there's no icky residue on the back either. And does vinyl stick to felt? Just for fun, I decided to try this out. Even with some added pressure from my spatula, it peels off rather easily, but you'd have to try to peel it off. If you left it alone, I'm sure it would stick. And finally, does vinyl stick to vinyl? As in, can you layer vinyl? And the answer is yes, you absolutely can. Now, for the second round of our little game, what techniques can you do with vinyl? Can you stamp on it with dye ink? Dye ink is supposed to be quick drying, so I thought it might work, but after a couple of stamps, it bubbles up and it wipes away really easily, so no. Can you stamp on it with a pigment ink? I have a really black pigment ink, one of my favorites, and after the results of the dye ink, I think I know the answer. Even after letting this dry for a few seconds, after seeing the results of the dye ink, this was a big fat no as well. Then I thought it might be fun to try some distressed oxide ink, since this ink is a hybrid ink of dye and pigment ink. I first tried to ink blend it with no positive results, and then I thought let's just smush the whole ink pad on there, and that's a big fat no. Then I thought, perhaps we can heat emboss on vinyl. So I'm going to ink up my stamp on Versamark ink. Keep in mind that this still is a very slick surface, so you want to be very deliberate when you stamp on vinyl. Then I'll pour some embossing powder over the top of where I stamped. Thankfully, I dusted it with an anti-static powder tool. It didn't give the best coverage, but again, it was a very slick surface to stamp on, but it still gave pretty even coverage. So now with my heat tool nice and hot, I'm going to melt down this powder, and the results are pretty positive. If you perhaps use a MISTI stamping tool, your results might be even cleaner than this. After all of the stamping techniques, I wanted to try different coloring mediums on craft vinyl as well. So at first I tried a colored pencil, did not work. And then I tried a gel pen, that didn't work either. Then I tried a micron pen which has archival ink in it, which did not work either, it bubbled up. So then I tried a water-based marker, like a watercolor marker, and that did not work. And then I tried an alcohol-based marker, like a Copic marker, which worked better, but it wasn't very true to color. And then for fun, I thought I'd try a paint marker, and that was true to color. So the paint marker was the only one that really worked out of all of these coloring mediums. So now that we know what vinyl can and cannot do, let's get to the cards. First up is a vinyl background. I'm using this fun background die. I'll place the die on top of the pretty side of the vinyl and then run all of this through my electronic die cutting machine. My Gemini Junior cut this piece out pretty well, but it didn't cut out the window for it, so I'm just going to trim it down with my paper trimmer to get the right shape I want. I'm going to measure out a piece of transfer tape to help transfer this vinyl die cut to my cardstock panel. You'll want to use transfer tape because your vinyl will be very, very sticky once you peel the backing off. And transfer tape allows you to keep your vinyl piece as flat as possible before you adhere it to whatever project you're doing. Trust me, I've tried to adhere vinyl without transfer tape, and vinyl just doesn't hold up like cardstock. It doesn't keep its shape, so it ended up being a really sticky, tangled mess. But with the help of transfer tape, I've learned that it's just better to get that extra help and get a nice, smooth adhesion. I'm just going back with my little picky tool thing, my hook, and just getting some scraps of vinyl out of there. Another useful way to use craft vinyl is to use it with really thin metal dies, like sentiment dies that have really fine lettering, and sometimes they're hard to glue or put tape on the back of these. So vinyl, that stickiness is already there, and you can just peel it up and use it like a big sticker. I'll add some glue to the back of this word die cut, and this card is finished. Another way to step up your layering die cuts is to use vinyl. I've got my layering dies all laid out, as well as the colors for each layer. I'll start setting this up on my die cutting sandwich. And when working with vinyl, you want to play around with what kind of settings or how thick your sandwich is, your die cutting sandwich, for using vinyl. Different vinyls have different thicknesses, so play around with what works for you and your die cutting machine. Sometimes you need extra shims and sometimes you don't. I'll finish my die cutting by cutting out the sentiment too with this next pass. And once I've got all of my pieces, I'm going to stick them on some transfer tape, and then I'll peel off the backing. The transfer tape helps keep my vinyl sticker die cut from getting all messy, and then I'll stick it on my cardstock, and once I've pressed down and burnished all of the air bubbles out of there, I'm going to peel off that transfer tape and then start working on the next layer. Thankfully, the transfer tape does have a little bit of tackiness after one use, so I decided to reuse it for the second layer. I think up to 2 uses with the transfer tape is the max. With this vinyl and transfer tape, I am loving that I do not have to worry about liquid adhesive oozing out of the sides, especially with these really thin die cuts. The glossiness of the vinyl also adds some fabulosity to this card. Next, I'll move on to the sentiments. I thought it'd be cool for a vinyl word die cut with a vellum backing. So I'm just attaching the vellum to the back of the vinyl, so it's just one giant piece, one giant sticker. And this way it'll be much easier for me to add some liquid adhesive on the back of the vellum and then glue that to my card front. I'll add a sub-sentiment strip, and this card is finished. And the most popular kinds of craft vinyl come in 2 finishes, either a glossy or a matte. There's plenty of other finishes though. There's glitter to holographic to confetti. I won't get into all that. But for the most part, I prefer to use the glossy matte, which you can find available in your local craft stores or online, just because it adds a really shiny finish to whatever you die cut, and I think it makes it look more expensive than it really is. For example, I'm using vinyl for this large word die cut. Yeah, I could have heat embossed it or added some glossy accents, But I like the fact that adding vinyl gives it this shiny finish without any mess, any spilled embossing powder, and I don't have to wait for the glossy accent to dry, and I don't have to worry about something accidentally like falling in the glossy accents or, making it uneven. It's just a really quick way to add some shine without any of the mess. One kind of specialty vinyl that I did splurge a little bit on was frosted vinyl. Particularly the one I'm using has little specks of glitter in it, and I'll show you what I do with it. First, I'm going to cut up a bunch of balloons in regular vinyl, and then I'm going to cut this Hooray Die into this frosted confetti vinyl, run that through my die cutting machine. I'll set that aside for now while I work on my note card. It's going to be a window card, and so I'm taking one of my rectangle dies and cutting a window into the front of my note card. I'll attach some double-sided tape to my window frame on the inside. That way I can stick a piece of A2 sized acetate on the inside of my window frame. Then to hide that double-sided adhesive on the inside, I'm going to cut out another rectangle frame panel and tape that on the back of this acetate just to help hide that adhesive when you open the inside of this card. Now I can move on to decorating the inside of this card with some vinyl balloons that I cut earlier. I basically have a bunch of balloon stickers to play with. So if your kids are into crafting or any littles around you are into crafting, this would be a great project for them to help out with and introduce them to the world of card making. I'm arranging all of these balloons so I have some space to write on the inside of my card. Although at this point I don't want to. So we'll see what we do with this card when the time comes. I'll just cut off the excess vinyl from the sides. It's best to use some scissors that are non-stick, but I don't have those. Regular scissors work fine too. You just have to peel off the vinyl from the scissors once you're done. And now onto my frosted word die cut. I've added my transfer tape. I've peeled off the backing, and it's kind of invisible and really hard to see. So what I did was I went from the inside of the card to place this frosted word die cut on the front of the card, and that helped me to get the placement right. And now I'll peel off the transfer tape, and I accidentally ripped off the Y off the word hooray. But thankfully with vinyl, it's very easy to reattach and it almost looks seamless. So I'm grateful for that. And as you can see, it adds this really cool frosted tone to the front of this window panel, which looks really, really cool in my opinion. I think it adds a how do they do that kind of thought to your card recipient. I'll add some extra balloons along the sides, and this window card is finished. Another fun way to use vinyl in your card making and paper crafts is to build a scene with them. With that, I'm starting with a larger piece of vinyl, and in retrospect, I probably should have left the vinyl larger than my A2 size panel. That way I don't have to be so exact and precise when I stick it on there. I can always trim off the excess, but probably having a larger piece of vinyl to work with in the beginning would make it look a little more seamless. Next, I'm going to add some cardstock die cut pieces. These are just from a cloud edge die. And then I'm going to use some rainbow die cut pieces. I like that the shininess just adds to my rainbow. I think using vinyl in like an ocean scene would be fun. A galaxy scene would also look fun. There's lots of possibilities here. And so as I go off to cut off the excess hanging off my rainbow, I decided to hang on to it, and then I'm going to stick the extra pieces on the inside of my card. I know that this is a thing that Amy from Prairie Paper and Ink does a lot. She always decorates the inside of her card to coordinate. So I thought this would be a fun little nod to her, as well as a good use of supplies and scraps. Another tip for using vinyl with cardstock: if you want your cardstock piece to have a vinyl look to it but still keep its color, you can get that frosted vinyl like I used earlier and cut it out again and just place the frosted piece over top of your cardstock piece. That way all of your pieces can have a shiny finish if you wanted it to. Next, I'll add some cloud die cuts to help finish the scene. I used double-sided tape to adhere those because I didn't know how liquid adhesive would work on top of vinyl. So after that, I'm going to stamp my sentiment in some nice black pigment ink, hoping I do not mess up. And thankfully I didn't. I'll attach this card front to my note card, and this happy shiny rainbow card is just about finished. Hopefully this video gave you some good insights and tips into using adhesive craft vinyl for your card making and paper crafts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.